What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. It is the Clash of Knights, and we have a pretty insane new hero in the portal, so I'm pretty excited to get to this hero. She is probably the ugliest looking knight that we have ever seen, and she is probably one of the most effective knights heroes that we have ever seen as well. So, without any further ado, let us have a look at our newest knight, which is Bearnadette, and she doesn't look like a knight at all. She looks like an ugly old woman carrying a painting of her maybe deceased husband or something like that. Sorry, guys, but that is exactly what she looks like. But do not underestimate this hero because she is pretty damn awesome. I'm going to give a lot away straight away, but this is a really, really interesting new hero that we have in the Knights. So, Bearnadette is our newest hero. She is obviously a fire hero. She is of the druid class, so she gets the chance to spawn the little thorny minions. It's nothing. It's really nothing. We'll leave the class alone. Family bonus, though, for the bear family, obviously we cannot forget the bonus they get for 1, 2, or 3 heroes. From one hero, all receive defense status elements are replaced by either a 40, 60, or 70% defense buff for 3 turns, depending on how many of these bear family heroes you have. But straight up, it just means that you cannot give defense down to Bearnadette. No matter how hard you try, she's just going to flip that on its head, and she's going to increase her own defense. Okay, the passive. So the passive is health recovery on buff received. When she gets a buff, or a positive stack, she gets 5% health recovery. Okay, basically, class is trash. Passive is pretty trash. Family bonus is freaking awesome for these heroes in the bear family. I love the bear family. I think the defense down one is probably better than the attack one. Now, in terms of the way she looks, like I said, she's extremely understated, but there is another painter in this game, and I absolutely love him, and that is my man Sterope. So I think whenever they bring out a hero which has like paintbrushes and art attached, you know they're going to be an insanely good hero. But before we get to her special, let us have a look at her stats. So max power off, 1078 on the team power, over 1000 attack, really nice stodgy, 1133 on the defense, and 2020 on the health. So she is a very stocky, survivable hero. As you can see, she, no matter how hard you try and take her out, she just keeps getting back up. Now, what does she do? So this is where things get interesting. So her special is running at very slow speed, and it is called Cursed Painting. Very slow speed. Slow speed is 12 tiles. Very slow is 15 tiles. It's going to take you a hell of a long time to get there. But when you do, she will first of all dispel buffs from all enemies. So priority buff dispel from all enemies. Then she's going to deal 250% damage to all enemies. Nothing special happening so far, but the priority dispel is nice. Then all enemies suddenly turn into cursed paintings for 5 turns. And I have actually seen this in a video. Thank you, Clay Thor. Shout out for sharing your video. That was awesome, having a look at the way this works. But basically, it just turns all of the enemies into paintings. And what happens is the effect cannot be cleansed. So for 5 turns, they become the same sort of cursed painting, like a copy of that photo of her husband or painting of a husband that she's holding. The cursed paintings have 70% attack, 70% defense, and they have a special skill. But their special skill sucks. So their special skill is called Break Free. It's running at very fast speed, so it takes 2 tile matches to charge this up. If you do become a cursed painting, and you will deal 250% damage to the target, and you get a 60% chance of removing the cursed painting element from the caster or from yourself, depending on whether you are using her on your attack or whether you're unlucky enough to go up against her on defense. Now, this is a 60% chance, so it's not a guarantee that the effect is going to be removed. It will disappear after 5 turns if you're unable to cleanse it, but you do get a little bit of a chance to remove it quicker. But until that point, all your hero is going to be doing is dealing 250% damage to the target, to a single target. So it's disabling that hero for a 5-turn period unless they get lucky, which is awesome. No other hero in the game is able to shut down heroes like this. Just flip the script on them, turn them into a bloody painting, and then they cannot do anything. They just hit you a little bit and there's a chance they might come back. But then when you do come back, your mana's reset again. So you have to charge that hero up from the beginning. So it is a small mercy that Bearnadette is running at slow speed, but she is extremely powerful. Now in Rush Wars, just going to be a absolute game over button. If this hero hits you, you could pretty much forget about the battle being won, because you're going to have to start right from scratch with your entire team. So it's pretty crippling in the Rush format. Even in other formats, I do think this hero is going to be usable. I would say you really want her on a team which is going to be boosting her already good survivability. Remember, she cannot get the defense down ailment. She also gets that health recovery when she receives a buff. So any buff heavy teams she will be helped by. It only activates a single time per turn, I think it says. No, this one actually says when they receive a buff or positive stack, but I believe it can only activate once per turn. We have seen that on other cards, so nothing to believe this should be any different. But above and beyond that, she's already got that stocky defensive stat that's going to make sure that she's around to survive. Let's have a look at what she gets with the max power. So she gets the boosted health regen, which is awesome because at the start of the battle, she regenerates 300 boosted health over 6 turns, which again just keeps her around long enough to fire off that special. And when the special goes out, you want the rest of your heroes to be ready to go. Because remember, the hero that comes back, or the cursed painting that comes back, is going to inherit 70% attack and 70% defense. Okay, so they're not going to be as stocky as the original hero. I can't remember now, but I don't know if they just automatically go up to 70% health, or if they were already at a lower amount of health, it gets boosted back up to 70. But the defense is lowered as well, so bear that in mind. It means that the paintings are going to be a lot easier to take out. So you want Bearnadette to fire off first, and then go in with your hitters and just wipe the team. And it's ultimate destruction. So yeah, despite the way she looks, I love heroes like this. Honestly, I like the quirky, weird heroes that you need to sort of build a team around. And then those are some of the most exciting heroes to play with, in my humble opinion. But for me, Bearnadette is going to be a solid hero, despite the fact that she's running it very slow. She couldn't be running any faster, otherwise she would just be too overpowered. But as it is, I will give her an S. I think that I love the innovation, I love the special, and I love the way that she's going to be able to allow your team to just destroy everybody else on the battlefield, which is absolutely awesome. So humongous congrats if you do manage to get your hands on Bearnadette. Also, definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think of her. I would be very interested to hear your thoughts. I mean, initially, I'm absolutely blown away by this character. I think she's going to be amazing. Like another version of Kalo, you know, just completely different, but another kind of Kalo type hero where, you know, they did nerf him into oblivion, but even still, he's such an integral hero and such an amazing hero if you can get a team that makes him work right. She is featured alongside Humbert and also Cecilia, so those are really, really good heroes, very recent additions. I think they're two most recent ones in the portal. And as far as odds, pardon me, legendary featured is 1%. Legendary event is 0.3%, but you don't really want the legendary event heroes because unfortunately we don't have any costumes for them. So you could be stuck with, I was going to say you could be stuck with Ludwig, but that wouldn't be such a bad thing to have a dupe of. But you could be stuck with somebody else here. You know, and when you look at the stats without the costumes and things like that, 822 team power. So we're getting to the point where these kind of heroes should really be featured in the Fated Summons. Anywho, long story short, Bearnadette is awesome. This is the granny to rule all grannies in this game. And there are a few. But that being said, do drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, let me know your comments and your thoughts, share it with your mother, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.